Okay, so welcome you all to this lecture series on basic electronics, and we'll be starting with the next lecture on the op-amp. So in the last class, that is in the morning class, we had some sort of discussion with respect to the operational amplifiers, few characteristics. So basically, we try to address the issue of input resistance and the output resistance, and that's valid for all of your voltage amplifiers. And because operational amplifier happens to be a voltage amplifier, even the things whatever we analyzed over there is valid for our voltage amplifier also. I mean, that is for our op amp also. Now here we'll just move ahead and we'll try to discuss about some of the other aspects about the operational amplifiers, typically in terms of its different characteristics. Now this was what I was talking in the morning, the integrated circuits, the IC structure or the IC figure. So this is an 8-pin IC, and op-amp is an 8-pin IC, and each pin has been designated with the different inputs and outputs. Like for example, you can see over here, pin number 1 and 5 here are kept for offset null. I'll try to discuss what exactly we mean by offset sometime later. Pin number 2 and 3, which were basically your inputs over here, minus and plus, which we called as an inverting input and non-inverting input. So basically, I could be giving the input as a negative and I can be giving the input as a positive. So I can be calling them as an inverting input and non-inverting input. So basically, meaning if I give the input only to this negative terminal, my output will be inverted output. Inverted output antandre it will be the exactly 180-degree out of phase of that of your input. Like for example, if I am giving the input to this particular terminal, a pure sinusoidal waveform, which looks like this, at the output side, my output will be exactly opposite to that of the input with little bit of amplification. So that is the meaning of inverting terminal. And non-inverting terminal input ಕೊಟ್ಟನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗ್ input ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಅದೇ ವೇ ನನಗೆ output ಬರ್ತದೆ. I won't be having any difference at the output side. So I can be giving or I can be expecting inverting as well as non-inverting outputs by giving respective inputs to pin number 2 and pin number 3. So which are over here, which are your input pins. Pin number 4 and pin number 7, which I marked over here, where you have two power supplies, plus VCC and minus VEE. So that you have to keep in mind. It works on two power supplies. Why it works on two power supply, I will be making you clear when I try to show you the internal structure of this operational amplifier. So in internal structure, it will be pretty clear on why I go with the two power supplies. And pin number 6 is where I take the output. So this is my pin number 6. And pin number 8 has been left as no connection, or it will be having no connection. It will be an empty pin. And that's for typically in most of the ICs, one pin will be left unattended just to ensure that in case of I want to do some extra things with respect to that IC, I can be taking out that pin and doing those activities. So as of now, pin number 8 is not connected. And the configuration of the pin IC structure, whatever I showed you or whatever you can see over here, is that of IC741C. So there is an IC called as 741C, and that IC is nothing but your operational amplifier. And this is the op amp that we most frequently use in our laboratory works. We will be using this particular IC, IC741C. And henceforth, in whatsoever operation or whatsoever discussion we do, that will be dealt by considering IC741C op amp only. So that's about your pin structure. Now, once I know the pin structure, I should understand something like there is a parameter or there is an entity called as data sheets. For every IC or for every electronic components you buy from the market or you get it from the market, you will be given with a data sheet or something called as the reader's manual. So data sheet ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ what information this data sheet will give, in the sense what is the maximum value of input I can give, or what is the maximum value of output I can expect out of this IC, or what is the supply voltage to which I can be given, and what is the minimum value of input resistance that has to be maintained, what is the maximum value of input resistance, what is the minimum and maximum value of output resistance. All those along with other parameters will be mentioned in the data sheets. So data sheets play a very important role when you try to operate on any ICs, or when you get any ICs, data sheets will be of prime importance when you want to work on that particular IC, or that particular device. So that's about your data sheet. Now coming to the structure, what I have shown over here, the internal structure, as you can see, I have just marked a dotted shaped symbol of my op amp, and inside that I have marked 4 blocks, 1 2 3 4. So ಏನಪ್ಪಾ 4 blocks indicate ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, like once I show you the internal structure there, at that point of time it will be even more clear. But you can assume one particular operational amplifier ಐತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನೇನು functionalities ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, that has been divided into 4 different stages, and those 4 stages have been marked as 1 2 3 and 4. So what exactly is stage number 1? Stage number 1 is known as our input stage, and in that input stage all the things that are that has to be present with respect to the input operations will be present. Now what exactly will be there will only come to know once we try to understand the internal structure. But stage 1 is your input stage, and stage number 2 is known as your intermediate stage. There we'll be having the differential amplifier setup that is present in the stage number 2. And in the stage number 3 is where exactly the level shifting operation occurs, and the levels of the input signals will be shifted. And finally, the last stage is your output stage. So where you are going to get the output. So this is how stage by stage, when you give the input, it travels through the different phases inside the operational amplifier, and hence you are going to get the output value. So this is about the 4 different stages of your operational amplifiers. So once we know that, now let's just move on to what is the what are the different other characteristics of my operational amplifiers. If I just want to show you the different, or if I just want to mention about different other characteristics of the operational amplifier, so just let me rub this out. So the first 2 characteristics which we have already mentioned are your high input resistance and low output resistance. So these are the first 2 characteristics which we have already seen. Then we also expect the high gain for the these operation amplifiers, and whatever I am just mentioning over here, or whatever the characteristics that you are seeing over here, they all fall under practical characteristics. So whatever I'm mentioning over here, they are all the practical characteristics. And I'll also be mentioning what are the ideal characteristics. How do I convert the practical characteristics to its ideal value? So the other important characteristics that what we expect is the operational amplifiers should have very high gain. So once we have that particular thing, we also expect that the operational amplifier should have very high bandwidth. I'll talk about this. We should have very high bandwidth. And the 5th one, it should have high CMRR, that is common mode rejection ratio. So this is my 5th characteristics, and it should also have high slew rate. So these are my typically the different characteristics or main 6 characteristics of my op amp. Along with that, I can have that it should have no effect on the temperature, and it should ensure that there should be less distortion. All those things can also be considered as characteristics, but the main important characteristics is what I have written on the on your board. So this is what is the thing. Now we have seen how exactly why we should have high input resistance and why we should have low output resistance. We have already done with that. Now let us try to understand the purpose of high gain. And it is also been quite discussed in the last class why we should have high gain. For the mere reason, whatever the input you are giving, it should be amplified with the maximum gain possible. So the smallest of the smallest input, whatever you give, I should be able to obtain the maximum value out of it. That's where I serve the purpose of amplification. So ನನಗೆ gain ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it's of no use. Like I was talking about gain equal to 1. Gain equal to 1 ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ input ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ output ಅದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಂಗ ಅಂತ circuit ತಗೊಂಡು I'm not going to have any much application out of it. But I can sense or I can have a very high gain value of op amp, and I can consider a small input and can amplify it with a larger value. So typically, as per the data sheet, the gain of my op amp is 10 into 10, 2 into 10 raised to 5. So this is my gain, or I can write this way. 2 lakh, the gain of my op amp. So that is what has been mentioned in the data sheet. So main meaning by do, if I give the input, it will be multiplied by that much amount of gain. Like for example, you may ask, sir, if this is the case, can I just give 1 volt and obtain 2 lakh volts out of it? Absolutely fine, fair enough, because I am only telling that gain is 2 lakh, and if gain is 2 lakh and the input is 1 volt, and I was telling that what was the equation of the gain? Gain is V out by V in. And if I am giving the gain as 2 lakh and I'm giving the input as 2, if I multiply this input as 1 and gain as 2 lakh, if I multiply it, will I not be able to achieve 2 lakh? Then why I require this all power supply, hydroelectricity power generation unit? I can be generating the voltage right from the operational amplifiers, right? But actually, it's not the case. There is always a limitation at which the amplification can occur, and that is known as your maximum limit or the maximum limitation that is imposed by the operational amplifier. So whenever we try to give any sort of input, of course, it can be amplified by 2 lakh fold, or 2 into 10 raised to 5 is my default gain, or that is my the gain of my operational amplifier. ಅಷ್ಟು ಪಟ್ಟಂತೂ ನಾನು ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾನ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ that voltage is limited by plus VCC and minus VEE power supply, which is somewhere between 13 volts to 15 volts. Meaning ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ I will never be able to achieve any voltage as my output voltage more than 15 volts. That is the limitation for this particular IC741C. ಹಂಗಿತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ 2 lakh gain ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಯಿತು? That is useful in order to amplify a very small input voltage, such that in the range of like 1 picovolts, 1 nanovolts, 1 femtovolts. Picovolts on raised to how many? Nano 10 raised to minus 9. What is pico?
10 to the power of minus 12.
10 to the power 12.
And then 10 raised to minus 10 to the power of minus 14, femto. Then further, all those 10 raised to minus 16, 10 raised to minus 18. So ಅಷ್ಟು small voltages ನಾನು amplify ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ I require very high gain. So those kind of signals can be amplified. And like I told in the very beginning of the class, that my entire operational is basically a differential structure or differential amplifier. So one of the major application of operational amplifier. Now you may ask, istalla martiv sir, where it is being used? We are unable to understand where exactly this is being used in my real life. Can we find its realistic application somewhere? See, this operational amplifier, though it was invented very long back in 1950s and 60s, it is finding its application even now, because they are find most suitable in your ECG, that is medical applications, or in all biomedical applications. Yakpa antandra, all your biomedical signals or the human signals, whatever the human body generates, they will be of the order of nanovolts or picovolts. And in order to ensure I extract those voltages and read out the values or read out the some of the variations in the human body, like for example I get the ECG waveforms, it will be in the form of PQRS, something like this, right? Human waveform ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಇದು waveform ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is not the exact waveform that it has been generated by the human body. Human body ಹೆಂಗ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ಬಟ್ that will be very small amplitude in nature. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ECG signal ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಂಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. So hence I try to increase the amplitude of that, or I try to amplify that human signal. How? By using a device called as instrumentation amplifier. We use something called as instrumentation amplifier. It's a name. Instrumentation amplifier. The instrumentation amplifier is made up of op-amp. The instrumentation amplifier, whatever we use in detecting all the biomedical signals or human signals, or in a simple words, the ECG signals, they are built using the operational amplifiers. And this is where the best example of an operation amplifier, which is practically suitable, is your biomedical field. And like I was telling, never ever I will not be able to achieve any voltage greater than the plus or minus supply voltage. That is, whatever is the supply voltage, supply voltage ಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ನನಗೆ output ಆಗಿ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. It will be restricted to that. So which means if I just want to show you a simple waveform, how exactly the things look, if I give my input voltage as 1 volt, and let's say that gain, rather than 2 into 10 raised to 5, let's say that I have gain equal to 30. Gain 30 tondini. So I am expecting 30 volts. But actually speaking, 30 volts barangi illa. If I just draw if this is my axis, my actual waveforms will look something like this. I was expecting a waveform like this, because for an input of 1 and a gain of 30, I was expecting 30 volts. But because my power supply is restricted to plus or minus 15 volts, my higher voltage more than 15 volts will be clipped off, and this is what is the final outcome. Nanga output voltage hinge barte. So that is the reason why we are keeping the limitation with respect to my output voltage. That is with the help of the supply voltage. And this is true in all the operation amplifiers. Your output voltage will be always limited by your that maximum power supply. So this will be the outcome. Nan gain 30 to input voltage 1 volt. But we say that while calculating with the numericals, if I give input as 1 volt and gain as 30 volts, what is the output voltage? Output voltage 30 volts ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು while solving some of the numericals. But that will always be restricted by the maximum power supply. Practical scenario ನಾನು check ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, if I try to measure it, this is what will be the result. So that is what I just wanted to talk about, maximum limitation with respect to output as well as limitation with respect to input. Input no ನಾನು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದಂಗೆ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. There will be some sort of limitation, and all that will be mentioned in this particular data sheets. So this is with respect to a general implications about why we should have high gain and what exactly we mean by gain, and how it is limited by the power supply voltages, and where do we find the application of the operational amplifier, typically in the instrumentation amplifier, which is used to detect the biomedical signals or ECG signals, which are your human signals. And since those signals are of the order of microvolts or nanovolts, or sometimes in the range of picovolts, I require a very strong amplifier to amplify those input signals. And it is being made possible with the help of a device known as instrumentation amplifier. And in that instrumentation amplifier, I will be having something called as operational amplifier as my main component. So this is all about the gain and its application, and the limitation with respect to the power supply. Now let's talk about something called as bandwidth. Now I told the bandwidth of my operational amplifier, the bandwidth should be very, very high. Now, before understanding why we should have the bandwidth to be very, very high, I should understand what exactly we mean by bandwidth. Now, can anybody answer what do you mean by bandwidth? Bandwidth andre enu? Any answer?
Range of frequency.
Ranges of frequencies. Of course, bandwidth is nothing but range of frequency. But how you are going to relate the bandwidth should be very, very high with op-amp ಅಥವಾ voltage amplifier ನಾನು consider ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ they mentioned a statement. They gave us a statement. Bandwidth must be very, very high. How you can correlate that with the voltage amplifier? ಈ voltage amplifier ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಮಟ್ಟ frequency ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು voltage amplifier ಅಥವಾ operational amplifier ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾತಾಡೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I'll be talking in terms of voltage. Suddenly I am introducing a concept of a bandwidth which involves frequencies in it. So how can you correlate heng sambandhada idu op amp ge when I say bandwidth is high? What exactly that means? What exactly that means? Any answer? Any wild guess? In hangandre enu why we should have high gain, I mean high bandwidth? See,
With less wavelength.
With less wavelength. Okay, fine. Again, like we are getting very too deeper in terms of the signal structure. Let's not get into that. Okay, I talked about, fine, I consider that. I talked about input giving in terms of voltage. Let's say I am giving the input. This is my input signal. And now can anybody quickly tell me what is the frequency of this? I mentioned the time and I have given the x-axis and y-axis. What is the frequency of this?
1 hertz.
1 hertz. How do you obtain that?
3 cycles divided by 3 seconds.
That is also possible, but the best way is 1 second na guest cycle bantu. Here I gave you 3 cycles because I just wanted to show you that this waveform is continuous. But always your answer should be 1 second olaga guest cycle bantu. So that is your frequency. So if I just try to draw one more waveform, and let's say my 1 second is here, second is here, and this is my time axis, and now can you tell me what is the wave frequency of this particular waveform number 2?
3 hertz.
Fantastic, because I can see here there are 3 cycles. One cycle is one complete cycle, one positive peak and negative peak. We'll make it as one cycle. So this is one cycle, and this is my second cycle, and this is my third cycle. And within 1 second, I have 3 cycles. So cycles per second is nothing but hertz. So since I am having 3 cycles, I say it is 3 hertz. The frequency is 3 hertz. Now, can anyone tell me what is the frequency of the voltage that we get in our households?
15
voltage,
15 hertz. 15 hertz.
50 hertz. I think you might have seen this in your meter board, and we have discussed that in the op-amp also. I mean, sorry, the first module, rectifiers. So 50 hertz meaning 1 second olaga nam input voltage whatever we are getting, it will be getting 50 times up and 50 times down. So that is the meaning of that. Eeg nan helri a simple question. If compared to waveform number 1 and with respect to waveform number 2, which is easier to quickly analyze, whether it is waveform number 1 or waveform number 2?
Waveform number 1.
Complexity ansandilla. It is a simple waveform. 1 second, 1 hertz. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ 1 second naga 3 cycle. It is getting complicated. ಈಗ ಅದೇ ನಾನು let's try to give, if I try to draw this particular waveform, like for example, if this is my 1 second, I'll be drawing 50 times this time. So this is how exactly it may look. So things will be pretty complex, right? more the frequency, the signal will be very, very clumsy, or the density of the signal will be very, very thick. So, this signal or the voltage, sinusoidal nature of the voltage, whatever I am drawing, every voltage signal has got some frequency. So, the meaning of high bandwidth here is, let's say, this is the one signal I am using as an input to my voltage amplifier, which is having a frequency of 1 Hertz, and the amplitude of this particular signal number 1 is 1 volt. Okay, and let's say that Vin is equal to 1 volt. Let's say that gain is 10. What do you expect output to be? 10 volt. As simple as that. Now let's consider waveform number 2. The input signal is also now categorized with a value of 1 volt, but the frequency is 3 Hertz. Now also input is 1 volt, gain is 10, V0 is 10 volts. Now let's consider one more waveform with even higher frequency. Like if I have waveform, or let's say we have Vin with 10 Hertz, then also I can expect V0 equal to 10 volt, because ನನಗೆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಗೇನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಫರಕ್ ಬೀಳಬಾರ್ದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ನೋವೇರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್. But actually speaking, the problem will arise when I try to increase the frequency of the input voltage. More the frequency, there may be a chance that output voltage may decrease slightly. More frequency, output voltage may slightly decrease. And that's because the waveform is getting more and more thicker, or it is getting more and more denser, and sometimes due to some disturbances, ignore it, nanige input signal, it is smoothly transiting from 0 to maximum value, and again back to 0, back to negative value, back to 0, back to positive value, again back to 0, back to negative value. It is smoothly having its transition. But the more the frequency, the transition may get altered, or it may be get distorted due to unwanted input signals. It may happen. Anta time naga, I may be getting the output voltage slightly lesser than what I was expecting. So I am trying to relate this with the bandwidth this way. I will try to understand up to what frequency I will be able to achieve same voltage as my output, or other way, up to what frequency I will be able to maintain a same gain. Idannu nanu correlate madadaga I will be able to understand what exactly is the bandwidth. Look here, I'll try to have one more, I'll try to rub this. Let me have the third input. Let's try to take this one. So for input equal to 1 volt, and let's say this all are with a frequency of 1 Hertz, and let's say this is frequency at 10 Hertz, and let's say that at frequency of 30 Hertz, I'm still getting a voltage of 10 volt. Let's say at a frequency of 50 Hertz, with the input voltage of 1 volt, gain was 10, but unfortunately I am getting output as 9. ಈಗ ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ನಾನು ಗೇನು 10 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಿ ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ನಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ 10 ಅಂತ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿನಿ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಆಸ್ 9 ವೋಲ್ಟ್. ಈಗ ನಂಗೆ 9 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ 1 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ನಾನು ಗೇನ್ 10 ಅಂತ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ 9 ಬಂತು. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ 10. ನೌ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ changed or new value of gain. Actually gain ಏನಾದಂಗಾಯ್ತು? I was expecting 10 because I set gain as 10, but I am getting gain, or I am getting output voltage as 9. Now tell me what has happened to the gain? Has the gain increased or has the gain reduced?
Reduced.
Reduced.
is the gain has decreased from 10 to 9. At what frequency? At 50th hertz or 50 hertz. 50 hertz ಗಿಂತ ಮುಂಚಿನ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಲೈಕ್ 49 hertz 48 hertz ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಟ ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಗೇನ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಕೋರಿಲೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ರಾ ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ which I am going to call it as a frequency response. I am going to mention the frequency F1 and frequency F2 as two extreme frequencies. And if I try to draw the gain versus frequency, I will get a gain of 10 when I start operating my input voltage with frequency F1, which is at the lowest frequency, and up to 50 hertz or up to 49 hertz I am getting a same output because my gain has been maintained constant. But after 49 hertz or after 50 hertz, if I keep on increasing the frequency, the gain starts decreasing. The same case occurs if I try to use a input signal with lower frequency. 1 hertz badli 0.5 hertz signal tagondrunu I may be getting some sort of disturbances in the output voltage and my gain can reduce. So the band of frequency between which the gain is constant is known as bandwidth. Is that clear what I told now? Please respond to me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
one particular frequency, lowest frequency anta tagotini athwa lower cutoff frequency anta tagotini, which we call it as FL. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ನಾ ಏನ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ FH ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ಹೈಯರ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀನಿ. ಇವು ಏನ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ FL and FH your op-amp will be producing the output as per the required gain, as per the given gain. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ FL ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ, ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, 1 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ ಬಟ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ವಿಲ್ ವೇರಿ. ಸೊ FL ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ FH ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯುವರ್ ಗೇನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನ್ and hence your output voltage will also have a drastic declination. So the meaning of this bandwidth should be very very high for my operational amplifier indicates that ಈಗ ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ which graph is better. If I consider the graph, this has number 1 first graph, and if I consider the second graph, tell me which graph is better, graph number 1 or graph number 2? What do you
Graph
think?
number
Which is
1.
better? Graph number? The below graph or the above graph? Which you feel that which is better? As per my requirement, the bandwidth should be high. Yell bandwidth high the graph number 1 or graph number 2 nago?
Graph number 2.
Graph number 2. Because this indicates none op-amp is capable, let's say this is 10, let's say let's mark it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and let's mark here also 10, 20, 30. So the graph number 1 will be working, or the op-amp with the frequency response as shown in figure number 1 will take the input voltage having the frequencies from 10 hertz to 30 hertz ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 30 hertz ಗಿಂತ 1 point ಜಾಸ್ತಿ frequency ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೂ the amplifier will not be able to amplify it properly because there's a decline in the graph. Adhe from the graph number 2, I can see that even though I give the input signal which is having more than 30 hertz of input frequency, I can be still able to achieve the amplification because in this duration my gain is still constant because my upper cutoff frequency has been restricted to 50 hertz. Under an input signal up to 50 hertz I can amplify. So more this constant value or more this constant gain or more the bandwidth, better will be your amplification. And it is going to cover almost all the signals. All signals, signals irrespective of the frequencies, it is going to cover all the signals if the bandwidth is very 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 large. Practically speaking, this is practically. Ideally ಏನಂತ ನಾವು this should be infinite. Infinite ಅಂದ್ರೇನು ಯಾವ input signal ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ ಎಂತಾದೇ frequency ಇರಲಿ the op amp should be able to amplify. That's what I say ideally, which is not at all possible. But again, like I was telling, ideal scenario na yaವಾಗ ತಗೋತೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ when I want to do some sort of mathematical analysis. So this is all about your bandwidth. Is that clear how we talk about the bandwidth? So this is how I should ensure the bandwidth of my voltage amplifier, or specifically the operational amplifier should be very, 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 very high. Now comes something called as slew rate, represented by dV0 by dt at a maximum value and given by volts per microsecond, units in terms of volts per microsecond. So ಏನಪ್ಪ actually speaking, see, when we try to consider with respect to the few characteristics of my op amp, slew rate is one of the major characteristics of my op amp's practical application. So what exactly we mean by slew rate? So like I have written over there, it is the maximum rate of change of output voltage per unit time. That is maximum rate of change of output voltage per unit time. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಹಿಂಗಂದ್ರೆ, if I try to get into the exact meaning of that, it only determines how fast the output voltage can change per unit time. Andrapa, like for example, suppose an input voltage is given to the input of the op amp whose frequency is very, very high. Let's say that input is given, or Vin is given 3 volt and F is equal to 100 hertz. That means 100 cycles per second iruanta na input voltage kottini for my op amp. Now at the output side also, we expect that voltage should change at the same rate. Voltage changing at the same rate antandrenu ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನನ್ನ input signal ಒಳಗ, like when I try to draw the input signal, it is changing at 100 cycles per second. 1 second nang 100 cycles bandu. I expect at the output side, after it passes through the operational amplifier, I expect the output voltage also should have same kind of frequency. So that is the meaning of this particular rate of change of output voltage per unit time. So what do I expect when I try to give the input with so and so frequency? I'm expecting the output also should have similar kind of frequency, but practically this is not the case. So there is always a limitation on how fast the change can occur. So that means the maximum rate of change in the output voltage is limited. Even if we have very high frequency input, voltage at the output will not be able to get that at the same frequency. And that is why if we have a very high frequency signal at the output, you may get a distorted signal. Suppose my input 100 hertz ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ output ನಾವು 100 hertz ಬಂತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ sometimes it will be distorted because there is always a limitation. So for example, if I consider this 741 IC which I was discussing, so 741C IC consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, for this particular IC the slew rate is given as 0.5 volts per microsecond. That means 0.5 voltage per microsecond is the maximum voltage change per unit time that can happen in the op amp, which is for this 741 IC. So now prati microsecond there is a change of 0.5 voltage. So here for every 0.5 voltage of input signal, let's say this is 1 volt and this is my output. The 1 volt il barabekku antandre it has to rise slowly. So nanaga output barabekandre slowly. So when it rises here, so this will be 0.5 volt and the time will be 1 microsecond. And next 0.5 volt bandaga, again for the next microsecond it will come. So again next 0.5 andre illi bartati. Next microsecond, this is next microsecond, and again it reaches one more 0.5 volts change adaga 1 microsecond change agutadi. So like that, if I consider the simple waveform, for every 4 microsecond I can ensure a maximum change of 1/2 cycle. So this is the maximum limitation that they have set for this particular 741 IC. So if I try to consider one full entire cycle for this waveform, so 1/2 cycle again 4 microsecond bantu, another half cycle again 4 microsecond bantu. So what is the total time duration? 8 microsecond. So for every 8 microsecond time unit naga, I'll be changing one particular cycle. So one cycle per second ga nanu 1 hertz antini. Now you can just calculate one cycle per 8 microsecond annaga what will be the frequency? It will be 1 by 8 into 10 raised to 6. So 1 by 8 is somewhere around 0.166 into 10 raised to 6. So 0.166 megahertz. So that is the limitation. So up to in the range of megahertz, I can be having the changes as per my input and output. That is the meaning of the slew rate. Andrenu minor changes aagbekanದ್ರೂ a change will be limited by this particular value, 0.5 volt per microsecond. So that is in 1 microsecond the maximum change is 0.5 volt. So if we have more than that, then we'll have a distorted output. So that is the main reason of having this particular slew rate is being set, and I cannot be expecting a same change at the output to happen as per the input voltage. So that is what is known as your slew rate. So this is one thing that you should be remembering in terms of the op-amps characteristics. So these all determine some sort of different characteristics for my op-amp. So if I try to summarize the characteristics that what we have dealt in today's two classes, I can just summarize this way. I can just write the practical condition and the other way is ideal condition. And let's say I'll keep on writing. Tell me what should be the Rin value, practical condition. Rin should be
High.
low or high?
High.
High.
Should be very high. There's a difference, high and very high. And ideally
Infinity.
Low.
Infinity.
Infinity.
Infinite touch low ಬರ್ತದೆ 0 ಹಚ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ ಮುಗೀತು. Quickly R out. Very low.
Very low.
Very low.
And the
0.
ideal value is 0. And what about the bandwidth?
Very high.
Very high.
High.
And infinite.
Very high.
Slew rate.
Infinite.
Slew rate also should be high, but there's always a limitation. So ideally speaking, it is infinite. And what was the other thing? Did we talk about any other gain? Gain also should be very high, which has been very high for my 741 IC. It is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Just remember this. And ideally speaking, the gain should be infinite. So these are the few characteristics that I discussed in today's class. Next, I will be discussing about something called as offset voltage, an interesting thing. And in that there is an input offset voltage and output offset voltage, which will identify my one other characteristics. And there is one more characteristic we discussed, CMRR, common mode rejection ratio. What about that? So these two things we'll be having the discussion in the next class. So with this, we'll conclude today's class and we can wind up with the today's class. Now, one important aspect, one important thing, in the morning, I just floated an attendance link. So henceforth, whoever is going to enter the attendance in that link will be only considered or marked as present. Microsoft Teams nagide na download ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ present ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Those will be entering your details with the code. I mean, code will change from class to class. ಅದೇ code ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Every class ನಾಗ ಅದೇ code ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Those will be attending the class till the end. I'll be giving the code and the end in the end, and that code you are supposed to enter. So just open up the same attendance link which you have used in the morning and fill up the details once again. This time the code is as you can see on your screen. So try to enter this attendance code and submit the attendance. So with this, we'll conclude today's session. And if you guys do not have any doubts, we'll try to meet up in the next class. So morning and attendance link itala same attendance link, you use it. Maybe I'll resend it once again. Link will remain same, no matter, but the code will change from class to class. Please try to remember that. ಹಳೆ code ನ use ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡ್ರಿ. And this will be not active for not more than 45 seconds. Try to fill it as soon as possible before you exit from this Microsoft Teams class. Before you are exiting over here, you just try to fill it. Okay, so that's it from today's lecture. If you have no doubts or no queries, we'll take up a leave and we'll meet again in the next class. Thank you for your patience listening. Try to fill that attendance link as soon as possible. Thank you. If you are done filling the attendance link, you can exit from the class.